Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today's video is an ultimate clean with me. I had a ton of cleaning to do in the living room and in the kitchen. As you see here, the counters were completely full. I needed to sweep and vacuum and well, I don't sweep, but I needed to vacuum and I needed to mop the floors, and you'll see the living room in just a little bit too was a disaster. It had toys all over the floor and I needed to vacuum in there too. So I hope you guys will join me, maybe get up and clean with me, and let me know down in the comments down below what were you able to get done while this video was playing. And let's get to it. As you can see here, I'm just cleaning off all of the countertops in my kitchen first. Those are a couple apples that we had at our camping trip that we went on last weekend with my parents, and we just didn't eat them, and all the caramel just melted off of it. So I just threw those away, and then I'm cleaning up the rest of the counters over here. I tend to put things in piles. I know I've said this in previous videos where I have my bag that I use to put things in, and then I'll take the bag and walk around to the different places in the house where the items belong. But when there's just a small amount of items that don't belong in that room, I tend to pile them up into one area, and then I will take them all at one time. So I try to find little hacks, if you will, that really make cleaning efficient, and so that I'm not walking around my house 30,000 times while cleaning the kitchen. Now I'm just unloading the dishwasher so that I can load it back up with all those dirty dishes in the sink. I usually try to unload and load my dishwasher at least once a day, maybe every other day, depending on if I've cooked the night before or other things like that. But typically I'll run my dishwasher several times a week.
Keep thinking that
So here I'm just putting away some of the dishes that I had, and this drawer right here is basically where we keep all of our like Tupperware and takeaway dishes for Justin's lunch and my lunch when I would work out of the house. But I've noticed that this drawer really is getting kind of out of hand. I'm stacking things up and just trying to make them fit, and it doesn't look like it fits the best way, so I think I might have to reorganize that drawer very soon.
so come on. Why won't you reappear? Things that I said came out totally wrong. Can't speak of the truth when it's tainted. I fell into a big black hole.
So now I'm just loading up the dishwasher, and this was one of those days that I did not have a lot because I had been keeping up with the dishes and loading the dishwasher every night, and I hadn't been cooking too much this week, so there wasn't a whole lot of like cooking dishes that I needed to wash. So I'm just loading up mainly the top rack here with the girls' cups and bowls. I use the girls' bowls every morning for my egg sandwich. I eat an egg sandwich every morning, and the little bowls are just perfect for scrambling the eggs before you put it in the dishwasher, before you put the egg in the frying pan. So I use those like every day, so there's always a lot of those in the dishwasher. And some of the other things, the coffee pot and things like that, are things that we use quite often, so I do have those in the dishwasher pretty regularly. But I was pretty glad that today wasn't a day that really had a ton of dishes to put in there.
I find myself hoping that you'll find your way back tainted. I fell into a big black hole. It got me stone cold. You got me stone cold.
I've said this before on my channel, but I think it's worth it to mention it again. Whenever I load my dishwasher and I'm getting ready to start it, I will always delay the start on it so that it doesn't start washing while I'm still cleaning up some things, because inevitably there is always a dish that I have forgotten, whether it be in the sink or in the living room or somewhere else in the house. I always have to go back and put something else in the dishwasher. Now I'm just washing a few of my cups by hand. We have a lot of the Yeti cups and the tumblers that are not necessarily dishwasher safe, so I usually just wash those by hand and put a towel down to let them dry. So I'm just gonna do that now.
Nights in December, and the sound of the falling snow, the fireplace warming us, the VHS movie box, your old broke down touring bus, and not a single cloud in the sky.
Fun fact about this cup right here that I'm washing now, it has a picture of the Hollywood Tower of Terror. I got it from Disneyland. We went to Disneyland on New Year's Day the year we lived in California, and I am 100% terrified of heights, but somehow Justin talked me into riding this ride, and it was one of the most fun rides I have ever been on. I've always been like cool with roller coasters and things like that, but like Drop Zone, or the ones that go straight up and then come straight down and drop you, I don't care for those. I don't care for those at all. So he talked me into getting on Tower of Terror, and I have to say it was probably the best ride that I rode while we were at Disneyland. It was just so much fun and so much adrenaline going through it, and I think I just felt proud of myself after I rode it, so I had to get me a souvenir cup, and I have had it ever since. So that's been probably 7 years ago, 8 years ago maybe. Yeah, close to 8 years ago. It's crazy.
If I could have played back my life, I wouldn't think twice. A pair of jeans and a dusty shirt, we didn't have a dime. No, you and me were poor and stirred, all we had was time. I'd pack my bags right now. If I could play back, rewind, I wouldn't think twice. A pair of jeans and a dusty shirt, we didn't have a dime.
So now I'm just wiping off the counters, and I'm using the Mrs. Meyer's Acorn scent. I feel like I talk about scents in every video, but if you've seen a few of my videos, you know that I'm very particular about scents and lingering and strong scents and all of that, and the Acorn is a really good one. I really like it. It's something that doesn't stick for very, very long, but it's enough to feel like it's a clean smell too. So I really like this one. Moving over to the other side of the counter, and I'm using the same Mrs. Meyer spray. I typically use something different to wipe off my stove, but Again, I wasn't cooking a whole lot, so the stove wasn't super dirty, so just using that Mrs. Meyer's countertop spray was fine for it. Sometimes I'll go in with a window cleaner just to get some streaks and things off of it, but this day it was fine and it wasn't that bad. So then I'm just gonna wipe off my coffee pot. Sometimes it splashes once you take the pot out of it. It'll splash down at the bottom, so I'm just scrubbing some of that coffee that's been building up at the bottom of the coffee maker. And on to the vacuuming. We have 2 dogs, Callie and Bullet, who are a lab and a beagle, and they shed a ton. So I'm vacuuming up everything. I'm going in the little closet there and vacuuming that up pretty well. I wanted to make sure that I got all of the dog hair up and all of the crumbs and things from the kitchen, because I am going to be going back in and mopping in just a few minutes. So I just wanted to make sure I did a very thorough vacuum.
Can we work it out? Only time will tell. It's gonna take a lot, 'cause we've been through hell. I can't be without you. I've tried and I failed. So can we work it out? Only time will tell.
I'm just going to get my, I think it's a Rubbermaid. I don't even know what brand it is. I believe it's a Rubbermaid, just one of the flat mops. It just has the removable pad on the bottom of it, and you can just spray it. I use a floor cleaner from the Grove Collaborative site. It's a concentrate that you put into the water bottle, and then you put in the concentrate in it. It smells like lemon, so it's a really nice fresh smell. Again, you guys know that I'm a stickler for a smell, so I'm just going through and I'm going through and mopping this up. And I don't know if this is common in everybody's house, but I find that when I'm mopping, there's these little black spots that just get stuck to the floor, and I have to actually scrape it up with my fingernail when I'm mopping. And it's not everywhere, it's just very small little places here and there. So I don't know if that's maybe dust and dirt that is kind of collaborated together and just kind of made like a solid mass when it gets together with other things, and maybe it got wet. I don't know, but there's just these little things that happen on these floors a lot, and I don't know if that was something that is typically what happens in floors with like hardwood floors.
Across the line, but no, not just me. I'm feeling something that goes beyond us. Can we work it out? Only time will tell. It's gonna take a lot.
And here's my complete disaster of a living room. I basically let Livy go wild the night before on her toys, so she just threw them everywhere. I had clothes on the coffee table that I needed to put away, which you see me doing now. I usually just get hangers from the girls' room and hang them up while they're still laying out, and then I'll take them to their rooms. The high chair was there. Sometimes we eat in the living room, and we just bring Livy's high chair in there too so she can eat with us. So it was just a definite, complete disaster.
I think it's time to speak. I have crossed the line, but no, not just me. I'm feeling something that goes beyond us. Can we work it out? Only time will tell. It's gonna take a lot, 'cause we've been through hell. I can't be without you. I've tried and I failed. So can we work it out? Yeah. Only time will tell. Ooh, only time will tell. Ooh, tell. Ooh.
time to pick up all the toys and things off of the floor. Like I said, I just let Livy kind of run wild. So I'm just putting toys back in the blankets back where they belong. We use this cabinet here as our toy bin for the living room. She likes to play a lot in our living room, so that's just a good hiding spot for all the toys. And those are toys that had to go back to Aubrey's room, so I did take those back to her room. So then I just finished tidying everything up, putting it where it belongs. As you can see in my hand there was a cutting board. Not sure why there was a cutting board in the living room, but nonetheless there it was. So I'm just going through picking up some plates and cups and some of the girls' clothes and toys, and just getting things back in order to where they needed to go.
Feel your touch, wish me the best of luck. Coming to get you, wish me the best of luck. Trying to steal your heart, coming to get you. Coming to get you, coming to get you. I've tried sometimes, but you're making me nervous. No, I've realized that I can't live without you. All my friends reassure that it's obvious, and that maybe I'm wasting my time, but I gotta try.
Y'all, this blanket is my favorite blanket I have ever owned, and I am a blanket hoarder. I have tons and tons of blankets in my house, and this one we bought at Sam's Club, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 years ago, and it has just been such a nice, cozy blanket. But I really don't like the pattern on the outside of it, because to me it feels like it's an old lady pattern. And I wanted to display it and have it sitting in the living room on my blanket ladder, so I just decided to fold it backwards so that you could see that really pretty maroon color. I think that is so perfect for fall, and even transitioning into Christmas, the maroon color just works and is so versatile. So I'm really glad that I decided to do that, because I really like the way that blanket ladder looks with the cream blanket on the bottom and the maroon on top, then with my shelves on top of that. So I just love the way it looks. So now I'm just folding up some of the clothes that we had left over in the dryer from Justin. He usually washes his clothes on Sunday and then leaves the clothes in the dryer and fluffs them as he gets ready for work in the mornings. So whenever I need to do another load of laundry, I'll usually have to take whatever he's got left in the dryer and just fold it up real quickly. So that's what I'm doing here.
Wish me the best of luck. I'm gonna win your love. Coming to get you, dying to feel your touch. Wish me the best of luck. Coming to get you. Wish me the best of luck. Trying to steal your heart. Coming to get you. Coming to get you. Coming to get you.
So now I'm just vacuuming the living room. I'm starting with this little walk area behind the couch in front of the screened-in porch, and I wanted to give you guys a little hack. If you have a robot vacuum that has maybe a higher profile and might get stuck under furniture, use a pool noodle to give it a barrier so that it can't go all the way underneath it. The love seat that you see there that I was vacuuming right in behind, our Roomba always gets stuck underneath it if I run it in the living room. In our old house, it wasn't a problem because the couches were up against the wall, but in this house where our couches are not up against the wall and there's a higher back behind the couches, the Roomba just would get stuck under it because he would try to go as far as he could, and then he would get stuck and run the battery dead and all the things. So what I did was I went to Lowe's and bought just a regular pool noodle, just not even like one of the fatter ones, just a regular size pool noodle, and luckily it fit under the couch perfectly. I didn't have to cut it or anything like that, so I just slid it under the couch as far as it could go, and the Roomba does not get stuck anymore. He hits it and moves on. So it's a great little hack if you have that Roomba as well.
Could it be my imagination running out of steam? All I know is every time I see you, I feel insecure. I'm unable to find the words. How can I be sure? I'm holding on when everything's gone. I gotta be strong. Confusion in my mind. No way to turn back time. My soul in need of remedy. Don't even know the enemy. When I feel out of touch, can't seem to
have it, the finished product of my living room. So happy that it is clean. Thank you so much for watching this video and sticking around to the very end. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. And I will leave some more videos up on the screen in case you want some more motivation. And we will catch you in the next one. Bye.